This week, listening to the radio, I don't listen to the radio every morning in my car, but for whatever reason, I was doing a lot of that this week. I kept hearing songs about time, so now I get to find out if all of you are as old as me. Anyone remember Pink Floyd? That means yes, I guess. Time, that was one of their hits. You know, that song was on the radio, and it's about the passing of time, about the fact that we many times don't even realize that time is passing. Then, like a day later, another song came on the radio. I didn't even know who the artist was. Anyone know a band or group called Green Day? A few of you. Time of Your Life is the name of their song. I think it goes by another name. I don't remember that. But it's about the value that we place on time or don't place on it. And there's a song, it's in my head right now, I can't get it out of my head. It basically is about the regrets of a parent later in life that they didn't spend enough time, children or a child. It was very popular when I was a teenager. You know, time is such a precious commodity. It's so easy to think that we've got more tomorrows, but we just simply do not know how much time that we have. More time to burn, more time to catch up with those friends that we haven't talked to, or maybe even relatives. I'll do that tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'll do it next month, we think sometimes that we'll better that relationship. I had such a relationship with someone recently. Well, actually, our relationship began probably 20 or 30 years ago. His name is Don Osborne. I knew him when I worked for the government. He had 30 acres of land down by Caesars Creek. And on a regular basis, about every 2 months, I drive pretty close to where his farm is. And back in July, I thought I gotta stop and visit Don because that's what we would do. I would just stop by and see how Don was doing. I finally got around to it about a month ago, and I knew something was up. The Osborne sign was gone from the driveway. And when I drove onto the property, I saw a bunch of kids' bikes. And then I pulled, and nobody answered the door. It was during the week. I pulled my phone out, and he had passed the month earlier. It's easy to fall into the same trap with faith. I have plenty of time. I'll give God more of my time tomorrow, maybe New Year's Eve. I'll make a resolution. We simply do not know how much we have left. And it's sad, as a minister of the church, I have witnessed it, not only as a minister, but even just as a family member, when someone goes quickly and you lose that moment with them, or you find out that your time is limited. And it can actually bring much remorse, missed opportunities come forward in your mind, because it's so easy to think that we have so many more tomorrows. You know, Jesus tells us today, watch out for the end times. You don't know when they're coming. Persecution may be on its way for you. Actually, back then, he's telling them it's on its way. To us, he's continuing to tell us it could be on our way, on its way. Do you think those Christians in Nigeria suffering persecution ever imagined that that would happen to them? You know, we must pray for those who suffer persecution. Jesus tells us that the time has come to follow me, only me. And if you are persecuted, I will lead to your giving testimony. He said that in the gospel, referring, he will provide the Holy Spirit. Don't prepare for the end. We don't know if it will even come or how it will come. But if it comes and you are persecuted, he will be there with you through it all. And he goes on, not a hair on your head will be destroyed. And Matthew says, blessed are the persecuted, for the kingdom is theirs. You know, and remember, persecution does not mean necessarily death. Persecution means you're treated with hostility due to your faith. Blessed are the persecuted for righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. You know, in today's Gospel of Luke also beckons us to consider not only the time in our lives and how we spend it, but also temples. The temples in our lives. Yes, these temples, these buildings, he's speaking, of course, of the main temple then, but even today, no matter how grand we make them, they will not last for eternity. They will eventually return to dust, more than likely. They just can't last that long. But there is another temple to consider. What about where the Holy Spirit dwells in each of you? You are temples of the Holy Spirit. As a matter of fact, when you receive the Eucharist, Father Brian, I know, has pointed this out, you become a tabernacle. God is in you, his body, his blood, but you're always a temple. So what do you do with your temple? Body, mind, and spirit. Do you care for your body? Right now, some are thinking, oh, I don't want to hear this. Right? Do you care for your body? You've heard you are what you eat. It's true. A body in motion stays in motion. We are called to take care of our bodies as much as we can. What about our minds? Do you care for your mind? Do you scroll constantly on your iPhone or your other device? Or do you take time to learn, to dig deeper into our faith, to dig deeper into the Bible? And what about your soul? How much time do you give to God? Do you go to confession regularly? Do you have a devotion that you utilize, the rosary or another devotion, to draw yourself in relationship closer to God? Adoration, daily prayer, daily mass. You know, as disciples, we are also called to strive to help others, to help them keep their temples strong and connected to God. I don't know if you've noticed, I believe we've heard other homilies about the fact that homelessness in this area is gone way up. There is one individual I know of that she has been keeping a record of every homeless person she comes across in Centerville, Washington Township area, 130 or 40. She delivers food to them, or tries to, on a regular basis. And we've actually seen homeless at our doors. The one thing I will caution you with, and this can be a challenge, sometimes it's so easy to give money to get the problem to go away. But what we have seen is that many of these people are addicted and the money just goes to drugs. It takes time to find out what their need truly is. Do you need gasoline? I'll take you across the street and buy it for you. Do you need a sandwich? I'll take you across the street and buy you a sandwich. It takes time. At a minimum, we can pray with them right then and there, if they're open to that. It is a time of year also, we're getting ready for celebrations. They're fast approaching, when family and friends will be coming into town. Next weekend is Christ the King. The weekend after that, we're into Advent. Thanksgiving is, what, just a week away or so? And it so is easy to not live in the present when you're going through those celebrations and those times. To not be there actually be there with the people that you're celebrating with. Many times we fall into the trap of thinking about what I have to do, thinking about meal preparation. And it's especially a very difficult time of year for those who have lost a loved one, especially those who are alone. If you find such a person, consider asking them to join you, to be part of your family. Provide them, of course, with prayers and support as much as you can. But time keeps marching on, And as Advent approaches, I challenge you this Advent to think about your temple time, body, mind, and soul. Are you treating it well? And also review and consider the amount of time that you give others, if you're open to doing that. You know, I don't remember all the gifts given to me by my grandma Roush. I really only remember one grandparent because I was born later than the other siblings, much later. But I do remember my grandma Roush and our conversations. She loved to give me her time. We would talk. And I cherish that because time matters. And so, that last song in my head, Cats in a Cradle, Harry Cheaton. He wrote it after the birth of his son, after he found a poem that his wife had written, and he created the song. And it really makes you think about the time you spend in your life. The lyric goes like this. I took the liberty of changing the words. Picture God singing this to you. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you coming home, you don't know when. We'll get together then. We'll talk about your time spent then.